Amazing fight, man. Clarissa did a immaculate job.
Yes, she did.
More importantly, what did you think about that knockdown?
I loved it, man. She melted like strawberry ice cream, man.
Man, Remy Ma then said, "What? Live on Instagram." People believed that this year's turmoil in her life couldn't be much more complicated. She came as a complete surprise to everyone. She dropped a bombshell that stopped the internet cold without warning or sugarcoating it. With a glass of wine in hand, no makeup, and that unassuming Remy Ma vibe, she explained to everyone why she and her husband, Papoose, are separating. Let's just say that everyone was rendered stunned by the explanation. According to Remy, their breakup was caused by more than simply emotional distance. She says she saw Papoose with another man in their bedroom. Yes, you read correctly. She claims to have personally witnessed it, and everything changed when she did. The internet took off. People were hearing things they couldn't believe. Was Papoose indeed leading a covert life all along? Or was Remy simply venting his frustrations in the heat of the moment? In any case, her disclosure has fundamentally altered how fans perceive their partnership. Let's take a moment to back up. Remy Ma has a reputation for being harsh. She managed to stay out of jail, maintained her family's unity, and stood her ground in the male-dominated hip-hop industry. She and Papoose were seen as a devoted and powerful pair for many years. Papoose was hailed as the perfect husband, maintaining their home, writing her letters while she was imprisoned, and always praising her in interviews. He was essentially the fairy tale companion of hip-hop. Everyone was astonished when Remy said that she had caught him with another man. She claims that she was the one who startled him by returning home early from a trip. She claims that when she discovered him in their bedroom, shirtless, with candles lit and music playing, it wasn't for her. She claims that while she saw what seemed to be a scene from a movie she had never wanted to be in, she stood still. She said that the way they both jumped as soon as she walked into the room told it all. Papoose didn't need to say anything since his expression spoke for itself. She refrained from confronting him right away. She chose to pack her belongings in secret, go stay with her sister, and keep everything to herself instead. 4 weeks, or perhaps months, there was no word. She claims, however, that she is no longer harboring secrets for someone who has deceived her in the most heinous manner. On her life, she declared, "I gave that man 6 years of my life, stood by him, helped him, and stood up for him. And he played me like this." It was hard to ignore the sadness in her voice. She wasn't only upset, she was weary of acting like nothing was wrong, hurt and disappointed. What prompted her to speak up at last? Remy claims that going public wasn't her decision. She claims that the first accusations about her reportedly cheating on him with a young boxer were disseminated by Papoose's supporters. She claims that preserve his reputation, the headlines were designed to paint her as the villain. She has finally made the decision to tell the truth. Naturally, the internet went crazy. Clips of a woman claiming, "I caught that man in bed with another man," went viral minutes after her live stream ended. You name it, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. Memes appeared right away. People argued over whether she was being honest, if this was a PR hoax, or if she was simply sick of keeping the suffering hidden. This is where things become even more complicated. Shortly after Ree's live, someone posted something on the internet that they said was a hotel receipt from a 5-star hotel in Manhattan. It indicated that the room was reserved for 2 people and had Papoose's name. Remy was attending a charity function in another state that same evening. People started to question who was in that hotel room with him because of it. A hazy screen grab from a hotel security camera appeared, which made matters worse. It purportedly depicted Papoose entering the elevator at night with a tall guy sporting sunglasses. People started to speculate that the man may be a member of the hip-hop community, who has also been the subject of subtle rumors for many years. Then more tea arrived. What they claimed to be direct messages from Papoose's private account began. to be shared by anonymous Instagram profiles. Among the texts were statements such as, "Same time, same room. On Friday, she will be out of town. We're doing okay." If accurate, you wouldn't say those things to a typical buddy. Fans were astounded by the notes, which gave what Remy said a more credible tone. Celebrities began responding in the meanwhile. Cardi B expressed her opinion that Ray was too genuine for the industry in a remark on her article. The caption on Funk Lex's live stream said, "So this is what y'all call loyalty." Fat Joe, who has known Remy and Papoose for many years, remains silent. It speaks a lot in a circumstance like this. However, other individuals don't think it's true. According to others, Remy may have exaggerated. Others believe that once everything broke apart, she made it up to get revenge on Papoose. You could see that she wasn't acting, though, if you saw that live. No PR staff, no editing, and no script were present. Just a lady fed up with defending someone who, in her own words, had duped her. This wasn't only about cheating, according to Remy. It has to do with being utilized. She feels that Papoose led a completely different life behind closed doors, and she was only the public wife who made everything appear ideal on the outside. Such treachery is profoundly hurtful. Insiders have come out to say that this wasn't the first time, which just makes matters worse. Papoose reportedly had a few intimate relationships throughout the years that left many perplexed. A well-known battle rapper who has always maintained a high level of privacy in his personal life is one of those purported links. Nothing has been verified, of course. But the internet detectives are putting in extra hours, going through previous posts, and attempting to piece everything together. Let's face it, if people start looking, more receipts will eventually surface. What comes next? Nobody truly knows. Papoose hasn't made a public statement. He might not. He could attempt to refute it. Or perhaps he will remain silent and let the situation resolve itself. One thing is certain, though. This isn't your typical celebrity split. People are now doubting what they believe to be true about one of the most well-known couples in hip. After reading this article, ultimately, the matter is more than just rumors. It's about actual people, actual heartache, and the ugliness that accompanies secrets, love, and loyalty. Whether you agree with her or not, Remy Ma was honest about her suffering. There is one lesson to be learned from all of this. It is that no relationship, no matter how ideal it appears on the surface, is flawless. Once more, the internet is in full investigative mode to attempt and put together the whole narrative behind the Remy Ma and Papoose controversy. People are going deep, obtaining old pictures, receipts, and rumors. First, let's talk about the gym selfie. Papoose shared what appeared to be a typical mirror image after his exercise back in 2022. Nobody really listened at the time. Fans, however, have recently detected an oddity. Initials that weren't his were stitched on a towel that was resting on the counter. It was easy to see the letters JD. It was immediately linked by fans to a Miami promoter who had the same initials. Since then, he has been mentioned in every scandal post, but he has remained silent, not even a hasty rejection. Additionally, silence frequently speaks louder than words on the internet. The airline receipts followed. A post made by someone claiming to be employed by a private charter service was promptly removed. A flight manifest from the previous autumn. There were 2 individuals on the list. Papoose was one of them. The other name was obscured by black. However, the date coincided with the very weekend Remy shared that she was traveling alone for self-care. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. However, it begins to take on the appearance of a pattern when combined with the other hints. There are still devoted supporters who maintain Papoose's innocence. They assume that perhaps Remy misinterpreted or made a snap judgment. Let's be honest, though. There was only a single rumor.
But I'm happy to, love somebody who want to, love somebody back. You know what I'm saying? He is just such a sweetheart. Ain't nobody tell him to tie my goddamn boot either, but he said it wasn't laced right, so he laced it right. It was so funny. But He's definitely a sweetheart, and
I know you might choose to dismiss it, but it becomes difficult to refute when disparate sources and years start to fit together like jigsaw pieces. For almost an entire day following Rhee's sensational Instagram Live, Papoose remained silent. Truth was the only word shown on a black screen when he eventually submitted something. That was it. Nothing, no denial, no explanation. The fans were devastated. Some believed he was confessing all The internet didn't like it when others thought he was implying that his side will be revealed later. People were looking for answers. They had had enough of the confusing communications. They wanted him to be straightforward. Remy, however, took a composed selfie as a follow-up. "Peace feels better than pretending," the caption said. That was a powerful sentence. The sadness underlying their remarks was palpable. It wasn't a show. It served as closure. A purported legal document then began to circulate. It stated that, weeks before going live, Remy had secretly filed for divorce. That alters the entire story. It implied that she wasn't acting to gain influence. Long before the public understood, she was finished. Insiders in the industry,